more the support role. So when you see him near the top of the leaderboard, you know, and Device at the bottom, something, I mean, good for Zipnix, don't get me wrong, but something's not right there when Device isn't hitting shots. So we need to see more from him to make this a case. And again, VP opens up with the first kill in the knife round, but TSM won the last one. We'll see if they can pick up this one as well and get their choice. Not looking likely, though.
I don't know, did you put any of like, the Vulcan bets on this second map, or did we only do it for the first map?
I only did it for the first map.
Okay, so but we got both of them right, didn't we?
We did. You got both of them right.
See? Chewie comes in and saves the day.
And Chewbacca. Woo!
There we go, so VP winning the knife this time. Let's see, because TSM won the knife and lost the map, so let's see if VP win the knife and lose the map on cash here. I don't know if that would be any sort of, like, there's weird statistics to kind of back those things up, if there was ever kind of like a graph to show if that ever happened, but still VP obviously favouring this CT side, which you would expect here, so let's see what TSM try to do on their T side strats.
And actually going to put a lot of pressure on Pasha right away, but somehow, when you run that many people toward a pistol round at B, they don't look toward Checker. And that allows Pasha to put in some early damage, not the kills, but Bialy will pick those up. It's KGB eventually working his way to the back of the site and getting the better of him, getting the plant potentially down here. But they're not in position just yet to secure all the post-plant spots because already Snacks is on their heels. He's come around from B main and he's taken down Kerrigan. This allows Neo to get inside the site before they could even get off the platform. Luckily, KGB, though, he's going to pick up another. Dupree does his job and gets another one. It leaves us down to a one-on-one. Taz, he's got very little HP to work with, and KGB takes full advantage of that.
Yeah, nice triple there from KGB. Great entrance onto that B-bomb side. It looked good for VP, but the trades went in their favour. I actually kind of like the way that VP actually decided to push Kerrigan with two players at once and force one player through like B-Toxic and then one through Vents to try and overwhelm the Tech 9 player. But still, really great hold from TSM, and they will reward themselves with those all-important rifles in round number 2. Good start for the Danes.
So Snacks blows out the vent from mid to take a little bit more control. Need out over top a boost as well. And then a full rotation to a stack on A. A 4-man stack on A with just Snacks remaining inside those vents. So gamble play right now from VP. And it may actually work out because they haven't fully committed to B, interestingly enough. They're actually still waiting around outside A main. Now, this was the interesting part of it, is that initially they pushed 3 into A main. 2 of those 3 players have fallen off of it. But if they push through, there was a chance for them to actually overwhelm and catch TSM off guard. Now it's back to a more default play.
There's no frags yet, though. Like, this has been really slow. Which you kind of, I guess you kind of expect from TSM on like an anti-eco round, just taking things cautiously, but still it's been like almost abnormally slow.
And with the bomb plant down in the first round, they went all for rifles. This is a map where you'll actually see more commonly SMGs come out, so TSM are just sticking with the old school style right now. And they're actually going to get close to the site. Kerrigan wrapping around, able to pick up Neo at quad. Picks up a second as well on Pasha as he pushes forward. Not looking too bad at all, but Bialy's still inside the site. He's got low HP on KGB, and he's dropped the bomb carrier. This gets a little hectic now for TSM because this will slow down the play a little bit. And Snacks is coming in for a flank. Question is he going to have position or line of sight? He's got neither.
And left on 36 points of health. He's in a tricky spot. Great damage done by Virtus Pro, and if you can pick up this clutch, it'll be huge. He caught the shoulder of Device there. He's given away his position, and I think Kerrigan knows exactly where he's going to come from. He's left low on health, but Kerrigan will pick up the headshot with the Tech 9 there to confirm the second round. Good damage dealt by Virtus Pro, but TSM still managed just about to take it here. 2-0 score, and they will be able to rebuy and drop some of those AK-47s for teammates.
And keep in mind, this is now 3 pistol rounds out of 3 that have gone to TSM.
That's true.
So we'll see how this one pans out, because obviously, like you said last time, there was really 6 rounds out of their 10 came from winning pistols. They only really won 4 other rounds. It's a bit of a problem. Zipnix just covering off to make sure they're not going to push into A main. It'll be interesting to see how much pressure VP put onto A main if they want to stay aggressive throughout the game and try and hold them off with that flashbang. Because that really changes your default massively, specifically if you give up lockers or give up any early map control or even just awareness. But KGB so far holding on. Going low on HP is Device and Kerrigan, but so far the kills are all adding up in their favor. It's Taz down to 14. He's the last one remaining. He's stuck at sandbags. And he hears one above and he hears one in front. Which does he choose? Unfortunately, neither were going to be the correct call.
And 5 players left alive there for TSM, so good stuff. Their economy is in very good stead indeed, and now we do see Virtus Pro buy up. So this is the thing I said about how you can see VP go for that kind of 5-man rifle setup on the CT side, but also as well, they've got an AWP player. Neo was on form with the AWP on the CT side of Train, so in a way it really doesn't surprise me to see him pick it up here. And will he get the entry frag flash just as Cajun B comes over the top, and he will miss that shot. Sees a second player over towards the vents here, but this is what I love from both of these teams, just this heavy mid presence, trying to get control of such a crucial area of the map.
Those were not meant to be boobs, by the way. Those were meant to be eyeballs looking at the score. Either way, it's Neo that starts it off with the Bialy has a good crossfire set up with Pasha right now, should anyone even attempt to go to the Ward to B tunnels, but so far it's mid control that TSM want, and it's mid control that TSM, or excuse me, that Taz will take back by taking down Cajun B. And Neo's just going to wait for the call, because he's got the AWP. He can still cover mid if he needs to, or go toward B. And again, that crossfire was waiting all the while, and each of them picking up a kill. They've fallen back inside the site, and that's the right call. Zipmix with one shot from the AK, but it's well held.
Yeah, really well held there from VP. And again, it's kind of, I always say, I don't think it's crucial is not the right word, but I always like to see when teams, you know, lose those first 3 rounds and then are able to pick up the first time, you know, when they get that, the first rifle buy in hand, and they pick it up, because it's important for economy, it's important for momentum, and various other factors as well. So Virtus Pro entering themselves here onto cash with their first round on the board. Of course, TSM taking 3 rounds at the start will be able to rebuy here, and Device has got that AWP in hand, and it looks like he's going to go for a battle with Neo. Neo just saw the shoulder in there, and Device will lose that battle just when he really didn't need to. So once again, a good opening start from Virtus Pro.
Yeah, this is working out all right. As now Neo this time, he heads back over to A main. Catches Kerrigan completely in the open once he gets there. Kerrigan getting a little bit too aggressive, trying to find that angle toward the truck with the AK, and no idea that Neo was on his rotation, so that gives another free kill to them. They've got to play this back here. How does TSM even get back into this map so far? Well, one way is to head toward B, because they've already pulled rotations toward A. They're going to slowly work themselves back, so they've got to act quickly and swiftly as Snacks is out on the flank. Neo's controlling mid. Slowly but surely, they're going to figure out the fact that TSM, they've got to be at B. And no one's really peeking. Cajun B does spot up on a generator. Has to fall back, though, because he doesn't hit the shot. And Pasha, he knows, is on the site, so he just has to walk out carefully and take the last shot. As Dupree wants his way in, needs to get at least 1 kill, does find the first, finds the second as well, and as does Zipnix. This is looking all right, turning back. Great awareness from Dupree, knowing that surely someone had to be coming through the vents. And they bring it back down, surprisingly to their favor. Palm plant down, add another one to the total here, because the bomb, essentially a 3rd man on the map, as it draws Snacks to it. Flash comes out, Dupree not aware that Snacks is there, because he's dodged it and was so far to the right that he's not going to spot him. So this actually means Zipnix might get caught off guard. That's going to be the case, but doesn't get the kill, and that allows Dupree to recover. It's 4-1 TSM. What a turnaround from a 2 versus 5.
Was that a kind of a touch of complacency there, do you reckon, from the Virtus Pro side? Because, yeah, 5 versus 2 looked in great stead. They had great control, and then suddenly Dupree, that AK-47, just ran absolute havoc on them. So I don't know if it was complacency, but still, Virtus Pro were certainly woken up after that.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, just those 2 entries, and everyone was, like, surrounding them. They had a perimeter, but they weren't in position to get through the vents that quickly, and Dupree turning back, taking down the player in the vents was pretty nuts too, because that allowed them to get the post-plant positions easily. And now they've got the guns, and the shoes on the other foot, as Neo realizes quite quickly, trying to push inside the big garage with only the P250, that Cajun B was waiting for him to arrive. And now it's Kerrigan looking to do the same position at mid. It's going to be Taz that gets dropped down. Bialy at least picking up 1 kill, staying alive, avoiding the spam as well, as the Glock has to come out, and Zipmix just barely landing that shot. Still ample HP left on him, though. 74 puts the bomb down. It's a 4 versus 1, and it Snacks again, who, once again as well, is on the flank.
But they know exactly where he is, and they'll be able to pick up this kill quickly. You would have thought Snacks maybe just deciding to exit, maybe going a cheeky spot and try and look for a couple of exit frags, but TSM are way too smart for that. They're not even going to challenge him. They know what damage Snacks can do, so they will back off in the opposite direction to save all 4 rifles, which they do have in stock. And this is really good here for TSM. I like the push from Snacks. They're just looking to see if he can catch anybody off guard there, but it's not going to happen whatsoever. Zipnix too aware of that. But yeah, my point was going to be that TSM looking good, especially after that loss on Train. You can tell that they've hopefully almost completely forgot about it, and they're looking strong. Obviously, Cash is a CT-sided map, although you do expect teams to get quite a few rounds on their T side, so the fact that we've only played 6 and they've got 5 rounds on their T side is a really good start for them.
Device getting very aggressive toward A main this time, but Neo's up close. He needs to be able to catch them early, and Snacks is able to trade it. Device did find Neo. This brings Taz over from CT, though. KGB is going to find the last remaining player inside the site, but Taz catching them in the cross as no smokes have been deployed. They're late getting there. Dupree goes back, though, getting the bomb. Pasha's got a shotgun. He's got to get up close if they want to make a case for this, and Zipnix is going to be holding on right now. From quad, Kerrigan on highway. Pasha's going to rock around the corner, and that shotgun, although it does damage, it's a little bit too far away. Although is it? He hits up the headshot, and Kerrigan down to 11 HP. Does eventually land one with the AK, but he's got to be worried now that he's going to get flanked out right now from Bialy. Bialy definitely hurt him, and on low HP, there's nothing Kerrigan can do.
That's the second kill onto Zipnix, but there's not enough time to do anything here. That's unfortunate for Bialy. If he'd had a couple more seconds, he could have potentially gone for it, but no time whatsoever there, and Dupree will salvage that AK-47. Bialy looking to hold on to that M4 as well, so good round for TSM, just extending their lead once again here, and the VP economy isn't in great stead. This is exactly what happened to TSM on their CT side of trade. Now it's happening to Virtus Pro here on Cash, is the fact that as you lose one round and you win one round and then you lose once again, it just breaks the economy so quickly. So Bialy with the only rifle in hand, and the rest of the VP players have pretty much got to save everything.
I mean, yeah, this is the exact situation that TSM found themselves in last game. Snacks jumps through, spots up 4 inside A main, so we'll see what the rotation call is going to be in accordance with that. So far, it looks like they're going to pull one over from mid. That's going to be exactly that player, Neo, that just got taken down. But VP's finding the frags, and it's Kerrigan now to get another one back and return a device. Good call to hear the boost come over in reverse and turn back to catch Bialy, but they need to be aware that there is a second player coming through A main. That smokes out. Device, he's way too smart. This is the game we needed from him on Train. Picking it up just a little bit here, just enough, and Pasha finds himself again, alive but alone, coming through Squeaky. Luckily the door's open. That might give him the element of surprise. But how much can he really do? He drops one. He's not been traded so far, and he actually almost got that AK cocked and ready, but KGB got him just before he could.
Good round from Virtus Pro just to do some good damage. Bialy with 2 kills with a rifle that he salvaged, and then, but still all the same, although VP, I like the idea of changing things up, changing the pace, pushing places that you wouldn't necessarily always see them push on that CT side. It was great awareness from TSM there to be able to counteract the pushes from Virtus Pro and pick up the important kills, because they could have been caught off guard there, but they weren't, so great awareness, and TSM once again extending their lead. So this is important now for Virtus Pro to try and bring themselves back into this one, because they're in danger of TSM running away now on this D side.
Device has the door open and no one in position to cancel it, but he doesn't hit the shot. Nearly takes down the player on highway, which absolutely would have welcomed the entry from A main. Now they've got to go back to the drawing board, and already someone in position. That's Kerrigan in position to go for the boost, and they know where Neo is up close, but did they get Kerrigan, or rather, excuse me, Device in place fast enough? He's up there. It's low HP for Neo, but again, Device not able to hit the shot, so looking a little off. Ping playing a part, perhaps, as he's not on land. Nade through the door. That's going to do damage onto Zipnix, who has to cross back over. Does so safely, so Snack's not able to hit the shot immediately. But Bomb is slowly grouping on the B site right now, or at least in the tunnels.
And I have a feeling that TSM once again can take this. They're just in such good fashion right now, and they're looking so confident, and they're just taking things slow. That being said, it is a 2-for-1 trade in favour of the CTs as they look to make their entrance onto that B-bomb site. So now they have good control of the bomb to Virtus Pro, and I maybe put the commentator's curse on TSM there because I said that they could probably take this one, but maybe not, as Device will fall. So Zipnix now the last one left alive. 2 players from Virtus Pro are low, so this is still on for Zipnix, and he's got a couple of seconds to play with, but the clock is ticking. He'll smoke off that lower CT spawn kind of area as Snacks shoots out the vent, but the clock is ticking. He's not got enough time to do anything here. He'll peek out, but Taz takes off his head, and that's the second round on the board for Virtus Pro.
Not a bad round that time. A little bit more well executed again. Being able to hold on by getting just the 2 players inside the B vents. Need to get a little bit more control again. I mean, it looks like TSM, when they find entries, they're just getting the early pick out, but TSM's been able to exploit on highways so many times. Device not hitting those 2 shots definitely plays a factor, but I'd like to see VP with a lot more mid-pressure. And it's going to be a default on A this time. Look at Snack's position. This will work as well. Getting aggressive. No idea, Kerrigan, as he walks directly into him, already pre-firing the doorway. And now it's KGB inside. Does manage to take down one. Where's the rotation? It's Taz from above, and Taz swaps to the pistol. Doesn't collect the third. Actually, he did. I take that back. KGB did drop just before Dupree got the shot back into him with the Tech 9. And it's left to just Dupree. VP might be able to break the economy just a little bit, claw back into it, because that's a second round in a row, and very fortunately are able to not just reset the money bonus, but grab right back into it.
Yeah, and I mean, Taz has got 7k here, so he's going to be able to drop, but this is the thing, even though a VP will be able to buy up here, it's still tricky, because a lot of their players are going down, and they win a 3-on-1 there, and yet still TSM pick up a final player, so it just, you know, it all adds up in the end kind of thing. So VP will still, you know, they're still in a great stead. You can just see for yourselves, I don't even have to point out what they've got in store here, but it could be a tricky one. If TSM once again kind of catch them off guard, they will be on an eke around here, but the CT economy is a fragile thing, as I pointed out earlier on. But this should be another round in favour of Virtus Pro, and it looks like it will be indeed. They've got 2 kills so far, so once again doing some more damage to that economy. But Dupree will be the last one left alive. Up the top, Snacks will finish him off, and that's their 4th round on the board. So I believe that's 3 in a row here for VP. Yes, it is.
Yeah, coming back in when they need to. And now it's TSM who's got to be able to find the openings. Pasha with a couple of really good impact kills over the last 2 rounds as well. And there it is. They're going to drop the op. Actually, this time it's going to be double op setup, as Neo is going to pick one up as well. And one toward mid. Pasha back over toward B. So they'll stay with just the single rifle inside A, and it's going to be Snacks again who gets aggressive, and using that flash, he gets through. And we talked about, I said at the start, how much is VP going to use that just to keep TSM thinking about it? Well, it works out that Snacks not only gets through, he picks up a kill. They end up pulling it back just a little bit as Snacks doubled up, but Neo now waiting inside the site. Easy shot to Kerrigan, leaves KGB to try and take over mid-presence. Excellent shot, though, on B Alley with the AK.
KGB's just been one of those players now for TSM who's kind of pulling their way through. They've been looking good on their T-side here, but still KGB, even when things look tricky in this 12th round here, and Virtus Pro in good stead, KGB been responding. Will he respond once again here onto Neo? He spotted out that player, but the game is up for TSM. These final VP members in Neo and Taz will know what is going on, but this is now a tricky situation. They do have a defuse kit, but TSM in relatively good after plant positions, and of course Neo has that AWP to try and retake a bomb site, which is not exactly the best weapon ever at close range in that situation, and he will fall.
Well held post plant. If KGB, who tried to get aggressive and beat the rotation when they first came into the site, had picked up that first kill, it would have been so much easier, so much more less stress, I should say, against TSM once that bomb went down. But either way, they get alive with 2, get away with 2, and it's going to be now an 8th round, so looks okay, but look, I mean, the economy's still not adding up massively because they lose 3 players. Kerrigan's still left with just the Tech 9. Fortunately, it's worse on the other side.
Yeah. Should be another round on the board, and TSM will actually win the half, so we've still got a couple of rounds to play with here, and TSM looking to extend this one, obviously forgetting that train map and continuing on and picking themselves up. Maybe needed that first map to wake up back home, as you said. You know, they've just returned home from an event. They're getting used to their home environment once again. I saw the players chatting about like monitors and things and getting used to setups once again. So maybe there was a case of that, a touch of that for TSM at the start of that first map. But by Ali here, great damage done with that PD-50, I think it is in hand.
Taz looking for an early pick as well when he tries to walk inside the site. Or inside A main, rather. Flash comes through for Neo, but no one around the corner, so he just goes for the early read. Then they bring out the AK, but it's Zipnix that wins the exchange. Zipnix looking for double, but he's down to 14. Has to be careful on the repeat, because Neo is actually in a better situation with the 5-7. He's got a support system inside the vents as well. That's Taz. As it does remain 3-on-3, but it's only the pistols. They can't recover the rifle that's been dropped outside in the B tunnels, just out toward Toxic, because it's so far to position. And Device, Snacks thought he was so clever, and Device, sorry, not so clever. There it is. Now they've got that AK. So we'll see if they can use that rifle now as they realize it's gone back over toward A. On the retake, the attempted retake is Taz with only the Deagle. And they're going to come from both angles, both approaches, but Kerrigan already hearing the first come around the corner. That's Taz, so what's the AK do? Does it go or does it stay? And Neo looks like he wants to go. He wants to take this fight, or at least look for someone in transition on exits at the very least, because he slowed it down considerably. And it might actually be Cajun, or rather, excuse me, Zipnix that gets caught, and it is. And on that invitation, we'll see you later.
Yeah, I think that's a good decision there from Neo, just to take that first frag, do a tiny bit of economical damage, even though TSM are in a really good stead, and just look for one exit there and then back away and save that AK-47. And VP have slowed right down for the confidence that they showed on train earlier on. It seems to have switched. The pendulum seems to have swung in the other direction, because now TSM have confirmed 9 rounds on the board here on their T side of Cash, and it's only looking to get better. And of course, you know, like I say that Cash is a CT favoured map. Obviously, a lot of teams do like it on their T side as well, but they shouldn't be running away with it in this kind of fashion, I feel. So this is important for VP to try and stem the bleeding, so to speak, and try and push it back here so TSM don't get onto double figures on their T side of Cash.
Big push again from VP, though, as they want to get 3 inside B main. The first goes down, the second picks up the trade. Now the problem is, does Dupree at least pick up 1? He does. That makes it at least a bit even here, as Pasha goes down to 19 as well. He can't even refrag it. So it leaves TSM with a man up. Because getting that trade and allowing Pasha to push all the way through might have just locked TSM on their side of the map and allowed more map control to go to Snacks, who's pushing up inside A main. He does still get the kill, so this may still work out all right, but he's got to fall quickly, and he's caught, but he's not taken down. He's lagged up to 29. The op through the box. And Snacks, look at how aggressive he's being. Reflashing himself in, goes for a late secondary peek, and that might have just caught them off guard if anyone was in position. It was a clever enough play, but fortunately for TSM, they've got other plans, and their plans are Taz. They want to take him down at mid.
This is still really favouring TSM here, though. Obviously, when it's in an even situation, 3 versus 3, it's not even specifically for the fact that Virtus Pro got to split up now. You can just see how sparse they are on each bomb site. We've got 2 on A, but only Pasha left on 19 points of health, who's on towards B. We can see Taz now starting to rotate, but Team Solo mid, I'm liking his pushy, just getting that late mid control here. 25 seconds left. They've got to make a push. They've got to do it soon. It looks like they're going to maybe smoke Z connector off, although I don't. Yeah, they do have smoke grenades, so they can do that and make their way up to A. But you know, the clock's ticking here. They've got to make a move soon.
14 seconds. They look to go for the entry. 1 player only inside the site. That's Snacks, and we follow the bullet directly into his body. He's down and gone. The bomb has lots of time to plant because they get on it at 6 seconds. This is easily going to be done. As the fire extinguishes, Dupree will take up position in behind quad, and what a shot by Device as he only spots Taz momentarily, and that's all the time he needs. As it now comes down to a save from Pasha. 19 HP, and he's going to hold on to this gun.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me whatsoever. So TSM on 10 rounds already here, and we still got 1 more round left to play. And I mean, I'm just having a look at the economy for Virtus Pro, and once again, it's absolutely dire. They are going to force it up, obviously it being the last round of the first half, but still in the grand scheme of things, TSM really looking good on cash. And it's weird, I don't know whether it's just pure chance that I've been seeing this, but I guess it's actually kind of a nice thing, because now with the vetoes and things, you know, obviously you have each team has a pick, but I see it so more often now where a team actually loses their pick but then wins kind of like the other team's pick, if that makes sense. And
yeah, it happens so much. It is weird. Yeah. Like, there's nothing
why.
Statistically that should say that. If you pick the map, you should have the advantage on it, but it happens time and time again. You're right.
It's really weird. I don't quite get why it happens, or
perhaps
how
you're too complacent. Perhaps you're the team that plays with a default, and your default breaks down, and you just like are stubborn. But yeah, I think that's a psychological review more so than a gameplay review.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, I think as well, it just is kind of a testimony to just how good maybe a lot of people's map pools are. The fact that they don't even need to pick a map and they can still take it off the team who did pick it. It kind of just goes to show that, you know, all of these teams, or a lot of the teams in those kind of situations, feel confident on a lot of maps, which is what we like to see as well. So, you know, moving on into the last round of the first half, it just looks like it's going to be a really quick clean-up here, potentially for TSM. No players down, although Device has been legged down to 11 points of health, but it's looking good. 11-4, and I really didn't expect it to be this way, but you know, you said yourself, it's a best of 3 almost for the ages, really, so to speak. So it's good that we're seeing good contention, but Virtus Pro looking to bring it back in their favour, actually. And
Neo actually did get the tag onto Device, so he's low. Cajun B's low. He's going to drop down, and now they're pursuing this last kill because they've got the bomb in their favor. Virtus Pro have turned this around massively, and they've got the rifles that'll definitely do the damage against only 11 HP. Heck, a pistol would do it at this point. As Device lobs in an nade, that gives away his position. 22 seconds, he pretty much has to go through, and that nade, is it going to do it? Nope, but the gun will. Doesn't even matter. 10-5, Virtus Pro winning the last one.
I mean, I spoke too soon. Once again, the commentator's curse coming in there, where it looked like TSM were going to be able to take the round, but still, Virtus Pro get the final word in that half, but overall, you can just see the stats there for TSM. Great performance from them. You spotted out that Device was one of those players who needed to pick it up. He's consistent. Dupree's really been the standout player, especially I think it was in round number 5 it was, where he got that crazy 3 entry frags on that B bomb site to bring things back into a 2-on-2. So that was kind of the switching point really for me, even though TSM did pick up those first 3 rounds. Like after that, TSM just looked so confident and didn't really stop.
I love that that decoy just slowed down the movement. Just actually made contact with, I believe, Dupree. Either way, actually it was Device, but either way, they're heading in toward the A site. And a really slack approach here from TSM, so they're playing for the retake as the smokes are already out, but they're going to be quickly on it because 3 players are swarming the perimeter as the bomb goes down. Problem is that Bialy's got excellent position to see above those smokes, and although KJB tries to use the plank against the wall to his advantage, he can't do it. Just the edge of the E-box as he got up on top of it, and now it's all Virtus Pro. That's their first pistol of the day.
And an important time to get it, nonetheless. 1 out of 4, but at a crucial time here. So now, again, it always interests me not what the team who win the pistol round do, but what the team who lose the pistol round do, whether they decide to force up, how exactly they play it, what they decide to push. So, keep an eye out for TSM here, see if they do anything a bit sneaky.
Well, sneaky would be one thing as KJB tries to sneak forward with his pistol. Actually wins it. He took the early damage and still hits a double headshot. Back the other way with the CZ-75, and Neo dropping accordingly. It now leaves Bialy up, with Pasha still lurking over on B. Where's the approach? We're also seeing 2 SMGs come out, so obviously VP wanting to use that play a little bit more than what we've seen from TSM so far. And it looks like it might be A-main, but another good push from Kerrigan, initially over-peaking a little bit for his first shot, and that means that Bialy can get the kill back, and that's going to invite the entry. 1 down on the A. We've got the guns. We've got the nades, in fact, from Snacks as he takes down Device. We've got everything we need. And all they need now is just to add the bomb plant to it, and that's going to happen right now as Dupree and KJB have to do very little. In fact, that's all they can do. Very little, in fact, as the Virtus Pro pick up number 7.
So still in with contention here, even though it was a 10-5 half, and as we've mentioned before, it is a CT-favoured map. Virtus Pro can't bring it back in their favour, and the TSM economy will be broken, so they're not going to be able to buy up here. They're not going to be able to do too much damage. You would suspect on this, it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, exactly what I was going to call out. If 5 of them headed towards B and just got aggressive and kind of tried to plough their way together to do some damage, or just actually went for a stack, even if you don't push aggressively here, onto like onto a B toxic push. I like the play all the same.
Oh.
That grenade.
Yeah, 1 HP. Poor Dupree. As he might get caught out by a stray bullet, and that's exactly going to be the case. Snacks found him. And they want the entry. This is a bit of a stack, though, still from TSM, as we can tell. 3 players inside the site, 1 on Heaven. That 1 on Heaven is Zipnix, and he's down very low. And what an entry from Pasha. Excellent shot to KJB. Have they spotted the player inside the small pit? Pasha certainly has, as he flashes himself back around the corner to take the second shot. It's Neo now. His turn to try and find something, but all he finds is a bullet in the knee. And he used to be an adventurer until that happened. Instead, he falls off it. Device picks up 1 kill against Pasha, and Device picks up 2 kills against Neo, looking for the gun. Not enough to turn it back around as Bialy closes it out.
I mean, again, I'm not a professional player, so I'm not putting any teams on blast here. You know, I'm just a little kid from England, but it kind of surprised me that VP actually still committed over towards B there. We actually saw right at the end of that round them rotate over towards A, but I thought it was actually pretty obvious. I know we've got an advantage because we can see every single player on the map, but I thought it was pretty obvious that TSM had stacked that B bomb site, and they still decided to push in there when they could have potentially backed their way off and made their way around to A. I mean, it's their call. It still worked out for them. They won the round, so who am I to complain? It just surprised me that they didn't switch back over to A earlier on.
Well, it's going to be Neo now with the op. Well out toward Toxic or Skylight. Sunroom, getting a tan. As Pasha wants to come around the corner with Snacks. Secondary smoke comes out, though, from CT to push this back a little bit further, and the rifles are up as Kerrigan, he's got the op as well. And he's actually all the way back by Truck, which may not have a whole lot of friends, a whole lot of company. Bomb's still over toward A, but meanwhile, the rest of VP are lurking on B to see if they can find an opening. And the Molotov into vents, that's perfectly timed because Pasha was waiting on the opposing side. So if there was a player in there to get roasted by the barbecue, Pasha would have caught him on the drop on the opposing side. So that's just simply a team play. But Pasha needs to be aware here that there is a player still to his right, and that's Dupree, who waits it perfectly. Pasha goes down. Now he's aware, or at least his team is aware, that he's stuck back there, so they'll push onto him, but that allows Dupree to pick up yet one more as Snacks only on that SMG, and it's falling apart for VP. Bialy, the last to join over, does at least pick up Dupree, finally dropping him down, has to recover the bomb, but the second player spamming through the garage is going to put him down to 77. And not only that, the tag sound will have been heard. As Bialy getting back into cage and B, though. 1 versus 3. Has to ace this if he wants to win it out, and it's not even going to get that far. Device will find him before he can recover the bomb, and TSM pick up their first of this half on the first gun.
Dupree just in such a good spot there. I believe that was in checkers. Such patience. I mean, it was kind of a standard round there for TSM. It wasn't anything too crazy, but just still the patience showed and the perfect timing, peeking out on Pasha as Pasha was in checkers, looking over towards the bomb side. He just closed them down, and I'm sure Pasha must have just jumped out of his seat. It certainly caught him off guard indeed. Virtus.pro will be able to buy up though after winning those first 3 rounds of the second half. They will be able to go for 5 AK-47s here, but TSM now extending their lead once again and putting themselves within 5 rounds of taking the second map and putting us to the decider, which, yeah, will be Mirage indeed. And, you know, just catching the edge of Cage and B there, I think, tagging him down to 67 HP, but once again, kind of a standard round here, nothing really too crazy going on, just both teams trying to find out information and see what they can get.
Going for the boost, Snacks over top, double boost as well for Taz. As Neo's the one to get flashed out though inside B with the smoke well deployed. Now they've got someone in vents this time. If they throw that Molotov again, there's no one in position to do it. It would have been caught by Neo. Instead, it's going to be all TSM. Neo still gets Cage and B, though, because he gets a little bit impatient. Forced out from the 2 players on the boost in mid, so Neo at least gets 1. And now he's got to work toward Dupree, who's just waiting it out, and Dupree times it perfectly. He's also spotted up Pasha, so he'll call for backup, and Pasha's going to use that smoke inside connector to his advantage as he pushes all the way up by the generator and able to get the kill. It's going to be Zipnix that has to come around. Catches 1, catches 2. Good spray control as they were both looking the opposing angle.
I mean, look, I'm trying to think of what they should do in with their economy here. It's a bit of a tricky one because you've got some players who can buy, but some who really can't. It kind of wouldn't surprise me if they went for the Force, but they're actually going for pretty much a full eco here, which in a way almost gifts another round to TSM. So Virtus.pro are going to have to claw themselves back into this game if they do want it to go 2-0 and they don't want to move to Mirage, which is a good VP map, but in my opinion, arguably is actually a better TSM map, especially after their performance on it this weekend, as I'm sure a lot of people saw. But VP gifting another round to TSM here just means that they're giving themselves less room to play with to try and bring this back in their favour on cash.
Pistols are going to group now for Virtus.pro and B tunnels. Snacks is waiting outside the vents. He needs to be careful. He's spotted, but he's through. He just runs. Never mind taking the fight from that distance with the pistol. Just get in and support the team as they try and push forward on a Cage and B, who only picks up the 2. Nice shot by Bialy. In fact, it looked like he was in good position to get more. But Device is hot on their heels. A very fast rotation, and it's Neo trapped in the corner. And unfortunately, that's timeout. You're not getting out of that corner today, sir.
13-8 will be the score, and VP do buy up here. They're going for 5 AK-47s. I wondered if there was a chance that they were full ecoing that last round to potentially maybe get an AWP on the T side, but deciding to go for the 5 AK-47s. Carrigan still with the AWP for TSM and looking confident here. They had such a great performance on their T side of this map that it's been really difficult for TSM to get back into the game. And they have taken 3 rounds so far on their CT side, but will it be enough? TSM taking 3 rounds as well, so it's been an even trade in terms of the rounds in this half, but Carrigan looking to extend it as he picks up 2. Will he pick up 3? No, he won't. Snacks eventually responds and does take him down, but once again, this is looking very good for the Danes. Virtus.pro tried to enter, but the aggression on the A-bomb site did not work, and those 2 starting frags with the AWP in quad from Carrigan really stopped things in their tracks.
I would have loved to have followed that with the camera, but please, Volvo, fix the smoke grenade glitch. I got stuck on it.
Ah, no, that's heartbreaking. I mean, if it had been a triple or a quad, then it really would have been heartbreaking, but, I mean, it was still nice, you know, it was a sexy double there. Started things off well.
I tried everything. I literally, like, pressed every button on my keyboard.
it's always a difficult one. That's why I don't produce very often, because I'm always making those kind of mistakes and things. But now we see Virtus.pro once again going up for the force up here, and you know, you're almost wondering whether they're thinking about Mirage here. To be quite honest, I like the aggression, I like changing up the pace, but it didn't work for them in the last round. I have a feeling it may not again here unless Snacks can do anything about it. Left 1 versus 3 against 3 Angry Dames, and there we go. Map point for TSM, putting us on the brink of going to Mirage. And you never know, I have a feeling that, as I said, I'm going to stick to my prediction here. I know this map isn't over yet, but if it does go to Mirage, I really felt like if Virtus.pro wanted to win this series, they would have had to have done it 2-0 here on cash.
It's weird to suggest that, because Virtus.pro are such a good Mirage team, but after the way TSM played it this weekend, I mean, they put on a clinic. I mean, people are going to say, oh, it was Cloud9. Yeah, well, Cloud9's been playing some pretty awesome Counter-Strike lately, so for TSM to have a half like that against them was pretty remarkable. Either way, good push early on from Dupree, and there obviously was enough money to go for almost a full force buy. Not a lot of utilities, and no head armor for Pasha or Bialy, but definitely a better situation than only pistols on match point. Meanwhile, though, it's Kerrigan and Cajun to each pick up a kill. And Kerrigan's going to add to his total, take down Snacks. It's left to Pasha, who at least waits out long enough for Dupree to get over aggressive, pick up one more, grab the bomb, see what he can do, but it's 1 on 4.
Yeah, I think he's just delaying the inevitable here, and there we go. Zipnix closes things off. 16-8 will be the final score. Great performance from Cajun B.